Yo, what it do, friends and fam? Yours truly, Joe Chet, back with Daniel Khan for Opportunity Thursday. We are going to be breaking down how you can find the hottest deals in real estate. We got 7 tips for you guys today. We're going to be breaking them down, giving you guys what the tip is, and giving you guys a little bit of detail into what the tip can do and what you can do with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's about to be great, guys. So let's go.
All right, guys. So first off, using the internet. This is definitely not the best way to find your deals, find your discounted deals, but you can certainly sometimes find deals using websites like Zillow and Redfin. These listings are more being posted by real estate agents or people who kind of know how to sell their homes. So you're not going to be able to find the best deals, but you may be able to type the address into your batch skip tracer and you might be able to talk them down and get a good deal with them. You really never know until you give them a call and just try out the water.
It's a starting point for if you don't know where to start, essentially.
Exactly. And then once you get into there, you'll be able to use the rest of these tactics as you go along.
Tip number 2 would be driving for dollars. Now, this may be probably the most time-consuming one out of the 7 that we're going to share with you. But to be completely honest, it's well worth your time because then you get to see the property for yourself, what kind of condition it is in right then and there. And then when you get that address written down, you skip trace, all that, you can call the person directly and be like, look, I recently was in the area. I know the condition of the property. I know how much work it needs to get done. So that's how you get a lot more leverage in your hands versus if someone posted something on Zillow 30 days ago, you don't know if they repaired that or not yet.
We've run into that exact situation where we saw information online and it ended up being out of date. So the owner had different information. So driving for dollars is just a great way to start out, basically, and try and look for homes that might be good homes. And then from there, then you can start using the internet as well and branching out and finding those homes under distress online.
Yeah. And we've mentioned it before, I'm pretty sure, but you want to go for homes that are boarded up, homes with siding on the houses missing,
long grass,
just homes that just do not look like they've been maintained well.
Getting into the 3rd tip now, this one's old fashioned. This one's for if you have a little bit more money. After these 3, we're definitely getting into the sauce, but direct mail, guys. You guys can put up ads and flyers all around your town saying that we buy houses for cash, put a phone number up, and you guys would be surprised with how many people are going to get back to you with trying to get a deal for their home. Of course, they may trying to be getting top dollar, but that's where your negotiation skills will come in. But direct mail isn't a bad way to get your name out there if you're trying to wholesale in a very specific area. Some examples of these would be printing flyers and putting them around the neighborhood, or certain billboards, bench ads, lawn signs. There's a plethora of different things that you can market with using direct mail. So definitely Google that and look more into it.
Tip number 4 is gonna be just straight cold calling. I would definitely recommend getting a script and having what you say planned out before you say it. It is against my advice to, go on the fly with those things, because it's just when you get into that moment, even if it's the first call where you're not even offering a number or anything like that, but you're still gonna want something to go off of just so you don't forget any important information when it comes to evaluating the property itself. And yeah, honestly, you can either make a script. There's a bunch of people online who also give out their own scripts and stuff. So
yeah, our script is probably going to come soon. So stay tuned for that.
For sure.
And then on top of that, it kind of just makes you sound more confident. If you're reading kind of what you say, of course, if you practice it, if you completely memorize it, you'll be all good, but you definitely don't want to be left like a fish out of water.
Yeah. And also, big advice, I would recommend getting a dialer for sure, because, Joe and I, we have done regular calls, just off of our cell phones and stuff like that. It can get a little tedious with
and
the dial.
Confusing. Yeah. Imagine you get a random call back from a client and you're not you're almost not ready for you to get the call back and you don't have the number saved. It's kind of awkward and it's not perfect timing. So if you use a dialer, you can get an automated messaging system as well for when you're not available. So then it kind of just goes right to ring or voicemail. So then they can still leave you a voicemail and you can get back to them at your earliest convenience.
For sure, for sure.
Getting into the fifth tip now, using Craigslist. Actually going back to cold calling real quick, definitely I'm going to link the video above right here. Use the cold calling using the homes in our last video. We talked about how to find these homes, these distressed homes online. So these are just definitely watch that video to use in case you're going into cold calling and stuff like that. But the fifth tip here is finding motivated sellers on Craigslist. Okay, guys? So you guys are going to be going on Craigslist and it's the same thing as finding a used car. You're basically finding a used home. People are putting houses up for rent all the time on Craigslist. They're putting houses up for sale all the time on Craigslist. And then you can even find people who own multiple properties who are listing one on Craigslist, but who you give a call to, and they actually have 10 or 12 properties that they might be willing to part ways with 2 or 3 of them for a good discounted price. Even though Craigslist sounds a little sketchy, and sometimes can be a weird kind of conversation with those people do tend to have a lot of real estate, and it's never really in the best of condition.
Yeah, and Craigslist is one of those things where, like anything, it's gonna be hit or miss. But when you get that hit, you're gonna want to maintain relationships with these people, because that's what's gonna make you that money in the long run too.
That residual income, because somebody who has 10 properties might be willing to part ways with one of them now, but guess what? When they're trying to sell a property fast in the future and get some equity, they'll know the first person that they need to call, which is obviously you.
Okay, and then tip number 6, guys, is gonna be make a deal with a realtor. Find a friend, find an uncle, find a neighbor, find someone who's a realtor. I'm sure within your town, there's at least one person that you know that's going to be a realtor. If not, find someone somewhere else. But like, go online, go do something, like look at billboards and stuff like that. Because when you build like a relationship with a realtor, it is in your best interest and in their best interest too, because while they're giving you property information and you're making money, they're also making money too. They're making their commissions, they're getting their numbers in. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, and it's an easy job for them. Of course, you're going to have to explain it, because a lot of people, when you kind of just initially first bring up wholesaling, they get very sketchy and very not optimistic. But it's just explain the process and explain that it actually is a smooth process, and that there is great residual returns in it. And it's let me do the work, Mr. Realtor friend. Like, I just need you to open and close on the property.
Essentially. And yeah, speaking of opening and closing, it's like very quick. Like, and they want that. They don't want any back and forth or anything like that. So again, it's just beneficial for everyone.
Exactly. Getting into our last one, I kind of mentioned it before, but ringless voicemail. Okay, so if you guys aren't ready to do cold calling, which I super highly recommend you guys get yourselves ready to cold call, because that is probably going to be your most successful version of reaching out to these people. But it's ringless voice message. Okay, so you can just use a certain app, like realringestate.com. I'll link that below, along with a bunch of other links that we mentioned, like a dialer and the batch skip tracing software that we're using. I'll link those down below. But it's basically you just giving them a call. It goes straight to voicemail, and you give them your spiel. Hey, this is Joe from Homestead Realty. Was just giving you a call to see if you're interested in a cash offer for your home. Give me a call back at your earliest convenience if you are interested. Of course, they'll call you back in a day. They might call you back in a week. They might call you back in a month. But just putting these out, doing a couple of these ringless voice messages every day will almost automate it over time, because it's you doing leads every single day.
Yeah, pretty much, guys.
Yeah, so that's basically it. You guys got 7 tips. If you guys really got a lot of value from this, make sure to smash the like button, smash the comment button, smash the subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys coming out to Opportunity Thursday and learning how to flip houses with us. We will catch you next week.
All right, peace.
Peace.